Hi, Curvy Ventures. I wanted to hop on here and share a little something that happened to me at the nail salon today. So I went in this afternoon to get a pedicure because I got my nails done on one night this week and they didn't have time to do my pedicure. So I rescheduled it for this afternoon after I had some other commitments this morning. So I went in and got my pedicure, and I'm sitting in there and I'm almost done actually. I'm almost done with the pedicure when these three young girls walk in, and they're probably like 15, 16, no older than 17. They're young, beautiful young girls, thin, long blonde hair, young, and young. So two of them are getting acrylic nails. So they sit down at the nail bar in front of me, and then the other is getting a pedicure. So she goes a few chairs down from me. So my pedicure chair is right behind the two that are getting acrylic. So the one girl sits with the tech and her friend sits beside her, talking to her. And at some point, apparently my large body was seen in her peripheral. And she looks at me like, like I disgust her. Apparently I'm the fattest person she's ever seen. So to that I would say you should really get out more. But anyway, neither here nor there. She gives me this stank look face, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be calm. I'm not gonna say anything, but on the inside, I wanted to check a bitch, right? So she's trying to get her friend, who for all purposes and intents we'll call intents and purposes, I think I said that backwards. Anyway, for all practical reasons, we're going to call her friend Tinkerbell. Okay, so she's trying to get Tinkerbell's attention, and I don't think Tinkerbell is the sharpest tool in the shed, so she's not picking up while homegirl's laying down. So the homegirl is like, trying to like eye my way without moving her head, and Tinkerbell's looking at her like, huh? And so she keeps doing it. She's like, with the eye thing, and Tinkerbell's not getting it. So finally homegirl's like, like lean back, lean with it, rock with it. She's leaning back, and finally Tinkerbell gets it and looks at me, like full on looks at me, makes eye contact, and she's like, oh, like that whole stank face thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, so both of y'all are stank. So I'm finishing my thing, my little pedicure thing, waiting on my toes to dry, and I get up and I'm getting ready to leave, but before I leave, I'm like running through all the ways that I can confront these little heifers, right? And I'm like, I took their picture, and I could have posted their picture on my social media and been like, who do these ignorant young ladies belong to? And could you please have a talk with them about how to be better human beings? I mean, I know I'm a big girl. Like I'm looking at myself right now. I'm spilling out of my top. I'm spilling out of my shorts. My cheeks are right up against, or my hips are right up against the arms on the pedicure chair. There's a whole lot of body here, okay? But there's also a whole lot of experience here, little girl, okay? I've had 4 babies. I have a slowed metabolism. Oh, and don't even get me started on menopause or Hashimoto's disease or all the other things that are happening in this big, fabulous body of mine to give it the girth, width, and boom that it has, okay? So don't even get me started. But neither here nor there. I'm sitting there mulling it over how I'm going to address these little nitwits. And so I decide I'm just going to tell them it's not nice to make fun of people. So I get out of the pedicure chair, pop a piece of gum because I've been drinking coffee, and I don't want them to say I'm a fat girl with bad breath because I pride myself on smelling nice at all times, breath included. So I pop a piece of gum, walk over to where they are, lean in, and say to them, it's not nice to make fun of people. And they both looked at me incredulously like, oh, she knows? Yeah, heifer, I know. Okay? So you're asking yourself, Stacey, why are you sharing this? I'm sharing this because I want you to know it happens to all of us. There are ignorant, narrow-minded people out there that do not understand that there are worse things in the world than being fat. I am a dope fat girl, okay? And so are you. Or a dope fat guy. just because we're fat doesn't mean we're less than. And just because we're fat doesn't mean that people can make nasty faces at us and talk shit about us right in front of our face. Like, do what everybody else does and go to your car and then talk shit. So at least I didn't have to see or hear it, right? Okay. So I'm just letting you know you don't have to put up with that, okay? And it's okay to check a fool who wants to disrespect you. So that's why I'm sharing it. It was embarrassing. It was frustrating. It was hurtful. But hey, that's the plight of a big person, right? So I may be fat, but at least I ain't ugly, personality-wise or physically. So it is what it is. I hope you guys are having a great day. I wanted to share my my story, my experience today. So yeah, the struggle of a fat chick, never ending.